Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Jai Opetaia may be all wrong for David Benavidez, and even Benavidez, I believe, knows that. Benavidez, man, look, he can fight. I'm telling you, he can fight. He is special. I'm telling you, David Benavidez has it. He's one of boxing's most exciting pressure fighters. But I'm just telling you, not only myself, many fans believe Jai Opetaia would have that kryptonite and present a completely different level of danger than anyone David has recently faced, and that more than likely David loses. Now we got to talk about Benavidez's recent opposition. You got to talk about Opetaia, his elite attributes, and why this potential cruiserweight showdown, has some fans divided, man. Let me tell you why people are talking. This is just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? On paper, Benavidez versus Opetaia. I think about the pressure. I think about precision. I think about the volume from Benavidez, the structure of Opetaia, the aggression from Benavidez, and the balance of Opetaia. And I think about that power that Opetaia possesses and that southpaw stance. Okay? Now, one thing for sure, neither man is known for backing down. So when they get in the ring, it's going to be the ultimate mash-up, crash-up. These two were to fight, the Mexican monster versus the Samoan monster. It's not going to feel like no showcase fight. You know what I mean? It's not going to be a dog and pony show. Sure as hell ain't going to be no damn tune-up type fight. And even though I think Jai wins, it's not predictable. I mean, you really don't know what direction it's going to go. But I just got to go with the Aussie, oi, 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 with the Samoan power. So the bottom line is the Mexican monster is real. And when the two of these guys come together, which is what I hope happens, I mean, it really feels like there's a lot of risk associated with this fight. Now, David just recently fought and tranquilized Zurdo Ramirez. He beat him from the first round to the sixth round pretty decisively. I mean, he destroyed him, okay? Yeah, at the end, he landed some elbows, and doesn't matter what anybody says, you're throwing a punch, and they can say whatever. The goddamn elbow was done intentionally. He says he didn't mean to do it. David, just don't even entertain it. Don't say you didn't mean to do it. Don't say you did. Just leave it alone, because no one's going to believe you anyway. But with Zurdo Ramirez, there's a lot of criticism from fans. Of course, some are saying Zurdo looked like he didn't want to be there, but he lacked urgency, limited head movement, slower feet than elite cruiserweights. But you know what? You think David Benavidez and his team didn't know that? If I made that observation just watching Zurdo in the past, David Benavidez spent time in his sparring with the guy. You think he didn't know that Zurdo lacked urgency, had limited head movement, and slower feet than elite cruiserweights? You think he didn't know that a guy like Zurdo was going to be right in front of him to be hit? This is why people keep bringing up the sparring history. A lot of people weren't aware that Benavidez and Zurdo spent so much time sparring. The diehard boxing fans, we knew it. Plus they were talking about it during fight week. But I just feel when you look at how that fight played out, I think because David knew him, the familiarity changed the way the fight went. You see, fighters often know tendencies based on camp work. So the way David spent time with Zurdo inside the ring, sparring all those rounds, he knew the tendencies from Zurdo, and he knew what he can exploit, and he knew that he would be victorious because he was already dominating them in sparring. But I'm trying to be fair here, okay? Because Zurdo is still a world-level fighter, technically experienced, physically durable. Zurdo is a unified champion. You got to give him credit. However, no matter what you think about Zurdo, Opetaia is a far more dynamic threat. Anyone who disagrees with me, just go jump in a river butt naked and, with man-eating crocodiles, swim across halfway, splash the water, agitate the crocodiles, and try to make your ass out to the other side. It's not going to happen. That crocodile need to chew your ass up. Chew up the gristle, the bone, everything. To that I say in the most respectful way. If you don't think Jai is a far more dynamic threat, well, how about this? Hey, yo, hold your horses and stop taking it to the stupid. So move on past Zerto. David fought Anthony Yarde. Now, this is the argument. People say Yarde came to boxing way too late. Hey, not David Benavidez's fault. Yarde became a champion. Yarde was a bad boy. Yarde whipped some ass, right? It said he relied heavily on athleticism and explosiveness. Okay. Yarde was a real threat. I thought he had power. He was tough. He was durable. But at the elite level, we knew he wasn't really that guy. But we thought he could present some kind of challenge to David Benavidez. Boy, were we wrong. He respected Benavidez way too much, even before the fight. It was almost like he didn't feel he really belonged to be in the ring with a guy like Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? So to me, Yarde had lost the fight before he got in the ring. He didn't apply any sustained pressure. He didn't really have a game plan. The strategy was all bad. It was just a recipe for disaster. You saw that shit in the first round. Matter of fact, that fight went like 3 rounds too long. I thought he was gonna get killed in there, because Benavidez that dude is mean-spirited. But I'll say this: Yarde is dangerous physically. Okay, we see him knock people out. We know he's strong. But at the end of the day, when you take a look at Yarde, when he started boxing, what he accomplished, Opetaia is viewed as way more complete in all areas, especially technically. So if what David Benavidez was able to do to Yarde, don't for a second think he's going to be able to do that shit to Jai Opetaia. And what he was able to do to Zerto, again, it's a little familiarity there, so it made him kind of comfortable. Now with David Morrell, talent versus experience. Now, I'm going to tell you, David Morrell, he brought size, he brought athleticism, he brought punching power. I said, David Morrell and Benavidez, this is going to be a fight. This is going to be a good fight. And it was. It was a good fight. But critics are pointing to limited elite level experience and still developing at the top tier level, which was true when it showed up in the fight. He did hit Benavidez and clip him, and Benavidez's legs buckled. But Benavidez was bing-binging Morrell. But Morrell, that Cuban style of fighting, was able to box and move, and hey, didn't get knocked out. But again, you just saw there were levels. You know what I'm saying? To the game, and you get to see the separation between Benavidez and David Morrell. Not taking nothing from David Morrell. But at the end of the day, when he started talking about the Aussie, oi, Jai Opetaia, the comparison matters. Because fans believe Opetaia has deeper seasoning, which he does. He was a standout amateur, this boxing phenom from a young kid. They feel he has more polished fundamentals, which he does. More battle-tested composure, which is true. Opetaia would have destroyed Zerto, would have destroyed a guy like Yarde, and would have whipped Morrell's ass. Now, I'm going to point this up. Alexander Gvozdyk fight, when David Benavidez fought him. Let me tell you something. Y'all need to pay attention to that fight. That fight showed Benavidez could compete at a higher weight, but also raised questions about the stamina late. Some observers felt that David slowed noticeably late in the fight. I watched that shit and I was like, yo, he's getting touched up now. The output dip compared to earlier rounds. And let me tell you what happened here. David, again, this was someone he was familiar with, who he sparred with, and with somebody he knows what's up. So David knew he was whipped his ass in sparring. So he thought going in there to fight him, because the familiarity was there. He thought he was going to whip his ass. Not what happened. David's output dipped compared to them earlier rounds. He was sucking wind. Didn't look good. And Gvozdyk started coming on. If there would have been 2 more rounds, I'm telling you, I think Gvozdyk would have stopped him. That's why at the post-fight press conference, Benavidez got emotional, a little teary-eyed, because, he wants to put on these top-notch performances. But against Gvozdyk, who came out of nowhere, Benavidez, yeah, did he win the fight? Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't. He was no Mexican monster. He was David Benavidez on that night. Makes you wonder what happened, right? Now, look, I just want to say this. If Gvozdyk, who's nowhere near the level of Jai Opetaia, if he was able to have success, what makes y'all think Jai Opetaia won't? I mean, look, we got to open up the discussion about conditioning at the higher weights, about energy management, about David Benavidez. Is he really a Mexican monster, or is he a guy who's carefully having his career managed? Now, while y'all kind of digest that question and think about how to respond in the comments, let me explain to you why Jai Opetaia is different. Almost all fans view Opetaia as the true elite cruiserweight king. He has that speed, for his hands are super fast for his size. He got the footwork, moves better than many cruiserweights. He got the defense, hard to hit clean. And he got the ring IQ, he can adapt well, especially after the first couple rounds to the end of the round. Size advantages, he's taller than Benavidez, he got a longer reach. You see, these are things Benavidez doesn't always face. You know, I'm not making that up. Let me show you. This is Jai Opetaia. 6'2", 76-inch reach. Okay? 30 wins, no losses, 23 KOs. The man got something special about him. This is David Benavidez right here. 6 feet tall, 74-inch reach. 32 wins, 26 KOs. All right? Both of them are bad boys. But when you come back to Jai Opetaia, he's taller, he's longer, he's got power, he got crazy power as well. You just got to put some respect on both of their names. But in my opinion, David Benavidez hasn't been in there with anything like Jai Opetaia. He's never sparred him. Jai Opetaia didn't start boxing late. So how does anyone in their right mind think David Benavidez is going to get in here against a Samoan monster and have his way with him? Something about, well, Benavidez is the hand speed and the explosive combinations and he hits hard. All right. We're talking about toughness. You're questioning the toughness of the Samoan monster? The Aussie, oi, beast? And this dude fought Maurice Breedis. Y'all go and watch that. That fight changed perceptions about Mr. Opetaia. Y'all go check it out and see wonder why people see the Big Uso as the Samoan monster. That man fought through a broken jaw from round 3 through round 12. Still won. Both the left and right sides were fractured. He could barely he couldn't even close his mouth. Fighting 9 rounds with a broken jaw? Shit. You know how painful that is? And he still won. And everybody, when they took from that, they say, yo, mentally, he's extremely hard to break. So Benavidez coming there with the Mexican monster shit, get out of here with that. The Samoan monster chomps that shit up, no problem. That's just my opinion. Y'all can disagree. I'm telling you, David Benavidez is an animal. He's talented. He's great. I'm telling you that. But I just think Jai Opetaia is greater. Okay? And this matters against a pressure fighter like Benavidez, because Benavidez thrives when opponents fold mentally, stop exchanging, get overwhelmed, and go straight back. Opetaia is not doing none of that bullshit. You think Opetaia is going to fold mentally? If you think that, how about this? Hey, yo, hold your horses and stop taking it to the stupid. He's going to stop exchanging. He's going to get overwhelmed. Easy, McNicholas. Take it easy. Stop. Go ahead and stop. Opetaia is not doing that. He's going to be in there letting them Aussie Samoan bing-bings fly from the southpaw stance with all them angles. They're using that reach and explosive power and that footwork. Y'all got to understand, man, we talk about amateur backgrounds. People don't know about Opetaia's pedigree. Standout amateur, represent Australia when he was a young man, I think 16 years in the Olympics. It's crazy, man. And that's why fans are emphasizing the suggestion, the years of technical foundation, and a comfort in high-pressure settings. Now, let me just tell you this, right? Switch up gears for a moment. So we talked about Bivol. He fought Zerto, but he had spent a lot of time sparring him, so there was some familiarity there. He fought Yarde. Didn't really know him, but Yarde came to boxing late and wasn't proven at an elite level. And before that, he fought Morel. He fought Morel. Morel was a really good fighter, but didn't really have the experience needed to compete at that level. But Morel did a pretty good job. Then he fought Gvozdyk. So you had the first guy and Zerto sparred him. Then you have Yarde and Morel, not really the experience needed to compete. Then you have Gvozdyk, someone else who he sparred. You see what I'm saying? His last 4 opponents, these were all people where he had the advantage experience-wise, or he had already sparred them and knew what he could and couldn't get away with. Which in most times in the sparring session, he beat the shit out of him. So now he's trying to go fight Bivol at 175, someone else who he sparred already and supposedly beat the shit out of. Y'all understand what's going on? There's a pattern here, people. Fans, but, we understand the move. Bivol is elite respected. He's a champion at 175. So, I mean, that's a good win for Benavidez. But we also understand that, you keep bragging about beating the shit out of him. So why should we give you credit for you going down to fight this guy? Matter of fact, go fight Usyk. Go fight Jai Opetaia. Don't put duck sauce on the fried rice. Go after them. But it's a whole lot of confusion because I saw him do an interview and talking about some weird-ass catch weight. I think it was with Ariel Helwani at 190 pounds, to where they established this middle ground weight where the cruiserweight titles will be on the line as well as the light heavyweight titles. I mean, that shit is crazy to me. But I'll tell you why he's talking about it. And again, this is my opinion. Because of that weight cut. He don't want to cut from that damn 200 pounds all the way down to 175. That size transition is a big concern. Just look at what happened to Roy Jones Jr. Most fighters go up, they don't come down. You don't go up to come down. Especially to drop 20 plus pounds, 25, 30 plus pounds. Weight negotiations are normal in boxing, but fans always interpret them as psychologically. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is all psychological shit going on here. But I'm going to tell you right now, that catch weight, that is just, it almost makes you feel like he wants to fight at 190, bring Bivol up, beat him, and then just stay there. He doesn't want to lose too much. He doesn't want to gain too much. He wants to kind of establish this middle ground or his sweet spot. I don't know if he's got that kind of pull to do something like that. But all I'll tell you is, based on everything I just shared with you, you take that and you just mull over it. But I don't see how anyone out here cannot conclude why Jai Opetaia is the favorite. He's a natural cruiserweight, people. Has elite level toughness. Has freakish speed, freakish power, better size dimensions, more technical balance. I mean, what are we doing here? Y'all out here thinking Benavidez pressure is going to overwhelm Jai Opetaia the way it overwhelms others? Just hold your horses and stop taking it to the stupid. The real ones know Benavidez pressure won't overwhelm Opetaia the way it's overwhelmed others. Opetaia is different. That's why Benavidez seems to be putting duck sauce on the fried rice. But I would say this, if you're not going to fight Jai is dangerous, man. Go and fight somebody else. Maybe somebody bigger where you get more money. Just go to heavyweight. Just close your eyes and pick somebody. You'll probably make more money than you ever made in your whole life, and more money than you would make fighting Jai. But I get it. Benavidez, he got some diehard fans. Viva Mexico Cabrones. Charge. I hear the Mexican horns going off right now. David Benavidez is dangerous. I agree. He has elite volume, strong combinations, relentless pressure. I agree with you. Mental confidence. I agree with you on when he's on the front foot. What happens when he gets put on that back foot? What's going to happen to him? Benavidez supporters believe he breaks opponents over time. He forces mistakes. He overwhelms rhythm fighters. And I get it. And that's why the fight's so compelling, man. It's just really a good fight. Who's going to take a step backwards? But I'm going to tell you this right now. This is not a guaranteed Benavidez win. It's not a guaranteed Opetaia win. I do think Opetaia wins. But I'll say this. Jai presents the most complete and dangerous style matchup Benavidez could have faced. He would have faced in his whole career, especially at cruiserweight. Jai Opetaia is that guy. If Benavidez beats him, he'll get all the respect in the world. I just don't see it. You know what I mean? I'm just being honest with you. So I guess pressure breaks many fighters. We know that. But what happens when the David Benavidez pressure meets someone who refuses to break? That's the question. The only way we get the answer, these two get in the ring. You got a cruiserweight war going on, folks. And I can't wait till they announce this fight. Hopefully sooner than later. Y'all keep cool in the breeze.